Vou começar dando os recados em português, depois a gente inicia a conversa em inglês, é para ser uma conversation class. Então, eu espero ouvir vocês, ok? Os recados são o seguinte, ó. A gente pode sempre conversar sobre o tópico da discussão. Por exemplo, eu botei um tópico lá sobre as brumas de Avalon. Quem não conhece, quem não leu, quem não assistiu o filme, coloca, vamos mudar o tópico tal, vamos mudar o tópico X, vamos mudar o tópico Y, é para ser democrático e é para ser uma coisa leve, é para a gente conversar e para ninguém se sentir pressionado. Se alguém vier aqui nessa aula só para ouvir, sinta-se bem-vindo, porque não é para ninguém ser pressionado assim, tem que falar, tu tem que falar, porque é obrigatório, é uma aula de conversação, tá? Mas não vou ser eu que vou impor para os adultos falarem se eles não se sentirem à vontade nem acolhidos. Então, se quiserem só ouvir, se quiserem falar quando se sentirem acolhidos, né? Sintam-se à vontade, ok? O que mais que eu ia dizer para vocês? Não precisa abrir vídeo também, podem ficar à vontade. Não precisa abrir áudio, abre o áudio só quando quiser falar, tá? Tem mais recado para dar para vocês. Sim, eu estou na 3G, se eu sumir, desaparecer, não se preocupem que a gente recupera essa aula lá. A aula vai até... Deixa eu olhar só minha agenda aqui. Só um minutinho que eu já falo aqui para vocês que eu estou com a agenda aberta. A aula é para ser até o dia 23 de janeiro. Se essa aula der algum problema, ela vai até dia 30 de janeiro, daí a gente fecha janeiro sem problema nenhum, tá? Ninguém é obrigado a participar de todos os sábados. Se tu te inscreveu, pensa assim, eu tenho que participar de todos os sábados, mas tal assunto não te interessa, não precisa vir naquele dia, tá? Vem no dia que te interessa, não tem estresse. É por isso que cada aula tem um tópico diferente, mas eu não ia fazer uma inscrição para cada aula, porque daí eu ia ter que fazer 10 inscrições, ia dar muito trabalho, quem ia querer trabalhar, quem quer participar de todos ia ter que fazer 10 inscrições, então eu deixo aberto para as pessoas faltarem quando elas sentirem necessidade, tá? A ideia aqui é ser bem uma aula leve de conversação o tempo todo, vocês não vão copiar, vocês não vão escrever nada, a gente vai conversar, no máximo que a gente vai acontecer é trocar umas ideias de listening, mais nada. A ideia é o seguinte, assim, ó, eu vou começar a falar inglês. Se eu não entendi, porque nós estamos misturados aqui entre intermediate e advanced, né? Porque o curso é para quem tem nível intermediário e avançado. Se eu não entendi, eu levanto a minha mão e digo, não entendi, eu vou repetir, eu vou explicar. Se a pessoa não entender de novo, pede, please, em português. Eu falo em português porque eu não acredito que as aulas 100% em inglês fazem a pessoa aprender mais. Às vezes a pessoa precisa de uma definição na língua portuguesa e eu fico aqui perdendo o meu tempo explicando o que eu quero dizer em inglês e a pessoa se enrola mais, não entende, e a gente está perdendo nosso tempo, enquanto eu posso dizer assim, uma palavra em português, sei lá, quadro branco. Pronto, a pessoa entendeu. Então, eu não acredito que essa 100% inglês ajuda, às vezes ela atrapalha. Quando uma palavra vai resolver o problema, eu vou falar em português, ok? Ou quando tem alguma explicação gramatical também, please, em português. Certo? Alguma dúvida, gente, podem falar. Eu estou meio perdida, porque essa é a minha primeira aula que eu estou fazendo no celular. Então, eu estou aprendendo, porque eu sempre faço as aulas sempre pelo computador, mas como a gente está sem Wi-Fi aqui, hoje eu estou fazendo no celular. Então, se eu demorar para olhar o chat, se eu demorar para responder alguém, sabem que não é porque eu sou mal educada, é só porque eu estou perdida mesmo. Ó, achei o bate-papo. Ok? Let's start. So, I'm going to start presenting myself, okay? I'm teacher Bruna Gelarcon. I've been teaching English for almost... Let me think, please. Let me think. 18, almost 19 years now. And I've been learning a lot of English. I've been learning a lot about teaching this last years, and mainly in 2020. This year was very challenging for me and for everybody I know. And I'm always trying to do my best. Okay. And I ask you, if you feel free, if you feel comfortable, you can present yourselves. And if you have any question for me, you just ask. Okay. Who wants to be the next to present?
My name is Fatima. I study with you and my daughter. I am married and I have a girl with 20 years old. Mm, um, I have 49 years old. Um, I'm working at home because the pandemic. I am a public employer. I think is this the translation, the Portuguese to. I like I like read. I like to watch TV serials and movies. Um, I think it is.
Okay, thank you, Fatima. Thank you a lot. Aline, would you like to present yourself, please?
Hello, good morning. My name is Aline. I am 36 years old. I am a housewife, but I am a student too. I have 2 kids. Um, my son, um, he is 10 years old. My daughter, he is 1 years old. I am married. I'm not working. That's it.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Juliet, would you like to introduce yourself, please? No? Let me see the others. Leonardo, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Okay, sorry. Okay, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Are you listening me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Juliet. I'm 30 years old. Uh, so it's my first time here with you, of course. So what else? Okay, for now, I'm not working at home. It was my choose, right? Because I was so how can I say, so tired, okay? Because I had working, I had worked for a long time, so I didn't have time to have a break. So that's it for now.
Okay, thanks, dear. Leonardo, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my
Hi.
name is Leo. I'm not speaking English very well, but I'm here working, working So I'm
No problem.
here
Take your
working.
time.
Listen. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Carla Cristina, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Okay, no problem, Carla. If you feel free to chat with us, feel comfortable to write, okay? People, Carla is writing on the chat. Very good, wonderful. Okay, thank you, Carla. Yasmin, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Yasmin. I am 19 years old and I live in São Paulo. I am working as an English teacher at Uni People, and I love to study English with TV shows like The Right People and Pretty Little Liars. And I think that's all.
Thank you, dear. Thank you a lot. People, if you want to ask me any question, feel free, even chatting on the chat. And I'm going to start. The topic of the class today is about interview. Okay. As a manager, sometimes I interview people in English, and I can tell you some little secrets about how to behave when you are being interviewed for a job, for a work, anything in English. I know people normally get very anxious, very nervous. Sometimes they shake, I know it. And first of all, you have to think, I'm not going to die, so please relax. Put in your mind, I know people, I have done so many interviews in English in my life, and the most I get nervous, the worst I became as a person who was being interviewed. So I put on my mind, I won't die. I won't die. I will survive. Yeah. That's the first step. I will survive. Okay. This is not the end. I don't even want this job. that thought helps a lot. You don't even want this job. That thought helps a lot. So breathe. The secret number one, breathe. A deep breath. Breathe before the interview, okay? Don't freak out. For example, if the person is asking you, are you married? And you are not married, okay? You were a single girl or a single boy, but you don't remember the word single, okay? For example, are you married? Fulano. Deu branco, block, total, tá? Branco total, porque acontece. I don't know how to say I'm single. Say you are married. You know? Don't worry. Say what you remember. And if you know you are too nervous, okay? Too nervous. Try to remember not to make mistakes, of course, but if you remember you made a mistake, correct yourself at the same time. For example, you said, she write a book, and you remember that the correct is she writes a book. Correct yourself at the same time. It works a lot, you know. You said she write a book. I mean, she writes a book at the same time. But if you realize it, that you committed the mistake later, try to make another sentence saying the right thing. Okay? I told you three secrets. First of all, think I won't die. Okay, I won't die. It just relax, try to relax. If you forgot some words, try another words. I can't remember if I'm single, how to say I'm single, and so I say I'm married. Then you are going to correct yourself at the same time, and if you realize it, you committed a mistake earlier, you are going to say, you are going to make another sentence to correct yourself and show that you actually know. Okay. Now I'd like to hear yourself if you already have done some interview in English, and how you feel, how you felt at that moment, if you have done the interview or not. Okay, who would you like to speak? Who would you like to tell me this story?
I never did an interview, but I think I would be very nervous because in Portuguese, when I need to show something in school, in university, it was very difficult. It's my personality. This is it is.
You are a shy person, Fatima.
Yes, I agree with you that the is help the situation and more calmant to this.
Thank you, Fatima. Aline, would you like to share some thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Teacher, now I'm a little bit nervous.
No problem.
Oh my gosh. So, teacher, when we are going to the interview, always we are a little bit nervous because the fear, it's correct, the fear, like a big monster. And oh my, ai, teacher, não sei nem o que dizer assim, porque
Aline, não
never.
te preocupa, tá? Respira, não te preocupa, tu não está sendo julgada. Vocês vão ver que nenhum de vocês estão sendo julgados aqui. Vocês vão ver que as correções imprescindíveis eu faço no final do geral. E as correções mais pontuais eu vou chamar vocês no privado. Então, não vou expor ninguém. E eu sei que aqui está todo mundo aprendendo. Ninguém nasceu falando inglês, nem eu, tá? Então, fica tranquila. Eu sei que a gente fica nervoso com aula de conversação. Eu entendo. Vocês tenho certeza absoluta que eu entendo. Assim, não estressa. Vai no teu tempo. Se precisar parar para pensar, pensa. Até o Obama para pensar, gente. Vocês viram aquela entrevista dele? Ele faz. Se o Obama para pensar, a gente também pode, tá? Então, relax.
Oh, teacher, that's it. Oh my gosh. It's my first time in the conversation class. And then I'm nervous.
No problem.
Oh my gosh. Thanks.
No problem, Aline. Like I said, até o Obama nasceu falando inglês, gente. Ele para pensar. E a gente nasceu falando português, não vamos parar para pensar. Ele faz assim, né? Cheio de estilo, né? Porque é o Obama, né? Faz, Aí eu, que nasci falando português e aprendi inglês depois de adulto, não vou parar para pensar. E não é que é difícil aprender inglês depois de adulto. É que quando a gente é criança, o nosso cérebro é mais plástico, é mais fácil de aprender. Ok? Juliet, would you share some stories, please? Some experience?
Okay, I will try. Okay. I never heard an English interview. Let me read this. Carla wrote something.
Carla said.
She said she never had an English interview, but she did some English tests to verify her English level.
That's it.
Okay. So related to me, I consider myself an anxious person, right? So I have this difficult to deal with it. So I remember almost 2 years ago, I had a job interview. Guys, you can't imagine how I felt nervous and anxious. You can't imagine it. So I thought, oh my gosh, I will die. I will die here. I can't. Oh my gosh. I thought, where is my mom? No. So, yes. So my zodiac sign is Libra. Okay. I don't know if you know something relates to zodiac sign, but it's a zodiac sign related to thoughts, related to think a lot, right? And for me, it's difficult. Okay, I can't say in another way. I can't. How can I say? Don't say it for myself. I have to deal with it almost all the time. Okay. For example, I like music. I play a little bit acoustic guitar, some percussion, some other instruments. In related to music, you have to be very concentrated, right? Very concentrated, because music, it's related, I think, to energy. Okay, so if you if you are thinking in another thing, so, oh my gosh, you too, you are disaster. What do you think about it, guys?
You know, I don't play anything. I'm a completely disaster trying to play the guitar, you know? I just can't do a thing with one hand and another with the other. I am a complete disaster. So I admire a lot people who can play any musical instrument because I can't.
Okay, but yes. What about you, Fatima? Do you play any instrument?
Well, um, I was teaching guitar, and my
Wow.
daughter was teaching piano. Then we was studying together. I was studying the uh, mother teacher and my daughter with the other teacher. It was a conservatório. I don't know how it's in English. But
We can say conservatory, right? Music
okay,
conservatory.
thanks.
Musical conservatory.
Yes,
Music
music conservatory.
conservatory. And but I was learning for me, for my mind, for my I need to play new things. I think it's very good for my mind, for my breath,
Brain, for your brain.
brain. But now uh, I think 1 or 2 years we stopped it. We stopped. My daughter today has others interesting, I think, and the other things happened that I I stopped to learn. But I have the guitar in our house and the teclado, and I pretend in on moment to continue to return. Uh, I, I think it's very beautiful, but I think it's a little difficult too. uh, but for me, it's a challenge, desafio. I just that it's
Great.
Wonderful. Who else wants to share some stories or experience about English interview? Leonardo, Yasmin.
I will talk. So, in the beginning of this year, I had a job interview and I need to talk just in English with the kids. The interview was in a bilingual school. And when I arrived at home, I just remember how to talk everything in English. So I can remember the words in Portuguese. And my mom was talking, Yasmin, I'm talking with you and I can't remember anything.
You are so nervous, so nervous. Jesus Christ. The mind is very tricky, isn't it? Ana Lacerda, how are you? Would you like to share some experience about interview?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm later, sorry. So I'm an English teacher too. Can you see me? No?
No, actually.
No.
Now it's possible.
Hi. So I'm an English teacher, but I don't have opportunity to talk adult English. Just talking to kids is very difficult to improve my English. I don't have opportunity. It's I'm very happy with this opportunity to share experience and can talk with you. I'm very happy. And I like play guitar too. When I was a child, I played piano. So during a long time, I stopped. But one day I decided to buy a guitar, and I began to try. And so I think that to play to children, you can play very well. You just have to learn some accords. I don't know, accords, basic music. 4 or 5 accords, you can play all the music. You can simplify the music, and the children are very receptive, like a lot music. You can do many things, improve your classes. So the return, the feedback is very, very nice to me. And so I began to compose it too. And I like composing music to children. And I'm very happy to stay here. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Marcia, would you like to share some experience?
Yeah. Hi. Morning.
Morning.
I have two experience about the interview in English. On 1 year ago, I interview in English. It's a very difficult because it's a very nervous. And in São Paulo, I live here in São Paulo, and it's a very important thing about your pronunciation for English teacher for kids. It's a very nervous interview. I need this year. I need to improve my English. I need to improve my pronunciation. E tipo, I try a practical. Try my stopping in my nerves. It's a very difficult, very nervous when talking English. It is a very tipo better, a big problem. Neighbors in interview, I talk in English. It's very, very travo and when talk. It's a big problem for me.
No problem. As I said before, como eu disse anteriormente, aqui vocês não estão sendo julgados. Erros mais graves eu vou retomar com todo mundo no grande grupo, e não no momento que vocês estão falando. Eu não vou interromper vocês enquanto vocês estão falando. Aí depois eu faço uma lista que vocês não estão vendo, mas eu vou fazendo uma lista para retomar no final algumas coisas, tá? Quando for erros pontuais que só aquela pessoa comete, eu vou chamar no privado para pontuar com a pessoa, tá? Nós vamos ter alguns professores aqui junto comigo, como a Ana, então essas pessoas também vão poder auxiliar, vocês também vão pedir ajuda deles, porque eu não sei tudo e eu nunca vou saber tudo, gente. Ser professor é constantemente aprender, é ser humilde de saber ser corrigido por outro professor, porque a gente não sabe tudo e porque aprender uma nova língua é desafiador, sim, é difícil, sim, principalmente porque a língua inglesa não é uma língua latina. Então, não se sintam julgados, ninguém se sinta julgado, se sintam acolhidos, se sintam bem-vindos, se sintam à vontade de falar o que vocês estiverem sentindo, porque a minha ideia é fazer vocês se sentirem leves para mostrar que exatamente isso que a Márcia disse, muita gente trava na hora de falar o inglês, muita gente. E às vezes, não é porque tu não sabe, às vezes envolve muito mais aspectos psicológicos do que qualquer outra coisa, ok? So feel free, feel comfortable, and feel if you want to share, just talk, no problem, okay?
I thank you so much.
You're welcome, dear. Let me tell you, just you are going to see that I'm not perfect and I will never be. And I got very, very nervous. And sometimes I'm very nervous with my normal classes because we are all human beings. When I used to work in a bilingual school, and in the first year, Americans from Nebraska came to see my teaching. And they stayed with me in my classes, in all my classes, for 1 week. And can you imagine how nervous I was in the first day? You will never imagine what I did and what I said to them. In the first day, they were a couple, not married but friends, a girl and a man. And the girl, her name is Anne. And the girl, she was a student in the college at Nebraska, and she studied pedagogy, or to be a teacher. I don't know the perfect name there. And the boy, the man, he studied to be a pastor. And in the first day, they were trying to understand Portuguese because we are in Brazil, and in my school, just the English teachers used to speak English, and some of them didn't speak English. So they stay attached to me all the time. And in the very first day, in the door of the classroom, it was written, Sala de Aula 14, Sala de Aula 14. And the girl asked me, she pointed to the door, and she asked me, classroom 14? And I answered, restroom 14. I said to her it was a restroom, a bathroom, not a sala de aula. I was so nervous that I answered that classroom was a bathroom. And she looked at me just like, are you crazy? But I was very, very nervous. And in that moment, I was confused. I can't remember classroom and restroom and bathroom, you know, but at the same time I opened the door and she saw it was a classroom, not a bathroom, you know. But I think she understood why I was so nervous. And they asked me some very strange questions also about the Indians, about the wild animals. Eh? Americans think we live in the middle of the jungle. So at the beginning of the week, I was very calm, very happy. But in the first day, it was awful, awful. So it's normal to be nervous, people. It's very normal. But you never said that some place was a bathroom instead of a classroom, yes?
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine her face? No, she was small, she was short, blonde, and chubby, just like me. And they were very hot. It was summer. Both of them were very hot, and we didn't have air conditioner in the classrooms. So they were with her cheeks very red. And she looked at me. She thought she's completely crazy. But at the end of the week, I was trying to teach them that in Portuguese, we don't have the perfect tenses. I was trying to teach them about the perfect tenses we don't have in Portuguese, but they couldn't understand. It was very difficult to them, very difficult. Someone wants to comment, ask something, share some experience, please feel free. Come on, guys, we have more 15 minutes. Nobody?
Sorry. Can you repeat
What?
your question?
Oh, yes. If you want to comment, share some experience, if you want to talk anything, just feel free, okay?
Okay.
We can talk about, sorry.
Não, pode continuar, Ana.
We can talk about accent because
Sure.
there is a difference in accent in English people, American people, and the methods sometimes are different too. The CDs and the material. There is a different accent in the pronunciation, and sometimes a teacher have to say always to the students, if you are in England, is that if we are in American, is that how do you do this? The accent, the difference. You always say in American English is this, in England English is this, is that.
I don't care about the accents actually, because I don't know the British accent at all. And I don't even like British accent, to be honest. And so I learned the American. But I've been studying a lot about língua inglesa, English language as língua franca, and about David Crystal and globalization. And now we have different accents around the world. Just like in Brazil, Nordeste is some accent. Here in the Sul, it's another accent. I try to make the students, first of all, to feel very safe to speak English, and then I try to make some corrections in the pronunciation. But I don't even care because I've been listening so different accents, for example, African or Indian accent or Australian, that sometimes it's not so terrible to speak with a stress syllable a little different, because the main point is to make a person understand what you want to say, you know?
Yes.
Because English is very, 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 very wide open in all the world. And the main point of being fluent is make another person understand you. You know, if you don't know, for example, the name of the chair, I can't remember the word chair, and when you want your chair to sit down, you can say to the person, "What's the name of that object that I can sit?" You know,
Wow, great.
the person will say, "Chair? Yes, chair. I could remember." She understood you, and you could ask her something or him. And that's the point. That's it. It's about to be fluent, you know? That's my point of view.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Alguém queria falar alguma coisa, pessoal? Pode falar agora.
And this moment in our countries, I thought, and I think, and the teacher, professor at school, this quarantine and this pandemic, I needed to in church mudar, né? We needed, né? Nós preciso, né? Church mudar. E this in my life, né? In my life, I saw improve my English for me, and not because I give him more job, a better job. No, this moment I saw improving my pronunciation, improving my networking, my como é talk. I for me this like person, como pessoa, like person.
Wow.
In this moment in my life, I don't know, no caso de vocês, mas but this moment I thought this, eu penso assim.
It's really important, actually.
Yeah.
Because when the country is in a crisis, the most important thing is to study, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Guys, would you mind, if you want, would you mind to say where are you? I am on Rio Grande do Sul, and you?
And you, who?
I am São Paulo. I am living São Paulo.
I'm in Espírito Santo, Vila Velha, cidade de Vila Velha, no Espírito Santo.
Wow.
I know that there is another city called Vila Velha in Paraná. So I'm Espírito Santo.
Excuse me. I am in Rio Grande do Sul, and in vacation with the car, my husband and my daughter, we were to Espírito Santo, and the Vila Velha is a beautiful place.
Yes, very beautiful. Thank you. But I'm from Rio de Janeiro. I live here many years, and I like it. I like here.
I was born in Alagoas, Nordeste. I live in São Paulo this moment.
Wow.
I'm from Rio de Janeiro too.
I'm from Pernambuco.
I think I already talked to some people here by the WhatsApp, and I already told about with a person who is from Vila Velha. I think it's I don't know the name. No, Vivian. And another
Vivian.
one who is from Vivian, and another one who is from São Paulo. I think it's Márcia.
Isso, eu.
I am
Yeah. I think she's not here.
Carla Cristina is from Goiânia. Goiânia. Wow! Márcia is from São Paulo.
Yeah, Márcia is from São Paulo. She told.
Isso, I am.
She was born in Alagoas and then she went to São Paulo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yasmin is also from São Paulo. Yes?
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Yasmin, are you in the computer? Are you in the computer?
No, I am on the cell phone.
Fátima, are you in the computer?
Yes.
No computador. Gente, quem estiver no computador, por favor, faz um print de todo mundo para a gente depois divulgar a nossa aula.
Wow.
Ou bate uma foto.
It's better for me.
I didn't say where I'm from.
So please say it.
Okay, guys, I'm from Vitória da Conquista, Bahia.
Oh, que legal.
Wow.
Oh, pretty nice.
It's 8 hours from Salvador.
It's not near, it's far. 8 hours.
Yes.
Okay. People, would you like to share something else? Would you like to tell something, ask something? Because we are almost finished.
I do.
Please.
Okay, I have a curiosity. It's related to zodiac sign because I love to learn by myself. Okay, so I would like to know your zodiac sign, guys. If you can say.
Gemini.
Gemini, great. Gemini. What about you, Anna?
Virgin.
Virgin. Ana Lúcia?
Sorry?
Seu signo.
Capricorn.
Oh.
My zodiac sign, I'm Capricorn.
Yes. Fatima?
My birthday is a little near. Is in 1
Virgin
month.
too.
What?
When was your birthday?
In 1 month.
In 1 month.
September. What about you, Aline?
Lion.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you surprised?
People used to say that a person who is a lion is not a very easy person to deal with. Is a little difficult person to deal with. My brother is lion. I know this.
My mother is lion. She's
My
very
father is lion.
very nice to live.
But Aline
What
is
about
a sweet
you?
person.
Yasmin.
Oh, I'm virgin too, and here in my house has 3. So my mother, I, and my grandma.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And you, Marcia? And you, Virginia?
Oi, gêmeos. My birthday May 2080.
Gemini.
Isso, Gemini.
Hello.
Oh, you have the same element.
Mm.
And you, Virginia? What's your sign?
Yes, I'm Taurus. Taurus.
Taurus.
Taurus.
You love to eat, right? Don't you?
Taurus is a strong person. but is sensitive to.
Oh.
Okay, guys. So it was very wonderful to meet you today. Please come back on next Saturday. I love our class. It was very nice to know a lot of people around Brazil. So please come back. It was very, very nice. Thank you for your sharing. Thanks for your participation. Okay? Kisses. Bye-bye. See you on Saturday.
Kisses. See you on Saturday.
Bye. See you.
You don't have observations to tell us?
Not really, not today. Because I'm always disconnect. I am almost disconnecting at this time.
Okay. Because I love to be correct, and you can correct me and say my faults. I love it. I need it.
I just have one for everybody. It's Juliet can help me, but virgin is the ser virgem, né? De corpo. E o signo é Virgo, não é?
Virgo.
Yes.
Virgo.
Guys, in about
I'm a virgin.
It's not lion, right? Lion, it's the animal. And the zodiac sign is Leo.
Leo.
Isso.
Virgo.
Isso. Leon.
Leo.
Isso aí. Thank you, Juliet. Thank you, everybody. Kisses.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye. See you
Bye,
next
guys.
Saturday.